is something that the people can immediately remember. So again, it cannot be overemphasized that media is indeed powerful. It does not only educate, but it shapes perception. Remember that if it is not covered, it did not happen. And if it is not covered properly, then what is covered is what the commission intended for the people to know. I give you an example. The Nigerian Law Reform Commission will have this kind of program. And then somebody can make a comment and say, oh, Madam Secretary, is a beautiful diva. Okay? And all of the work that has happened over the last few days that you've been here can get buried under that. Or you could say that the chairman has an amazing smile. And all of the work, all the money you spent, that's how serious media is. So you have to be able to curate your message and ensure that you don't just leave it to open reportage, that you put together the work that you want to do. Now let me pause here and give the story of House of Justice in terms of media. So before we were known as a human rights organization, even though we do other law issues. We were basically known as a media hub. And so when I first set up the law firm in 2009. And that was when I was about 2 years post-school. And then I began to write the weekly columns. Now, my thinking at that time was that as a young lawyer, nobody's going to think that you have something to offer. But if you read me in the paper, my research will tell you that yes, maybe something there. So I had to bypass the years of practice with the work of research. And after that, we then had the House of Justice radio program, which then became an instant hit and resonated with people, not just in Nigeria, because after a while, the Pan-African Law Union began to engage us. So we had people who were up on the program. And when people had issues with the law, they would come and then we'll bring the different stakeholders to see. So whenever, and it was just a 30 minutes program in a week. But whenever it was House of Justice, people stopped to listen because we used the bottom-up approach. You would see that we would have governors and heads of parastatals, and we could one day bring. I remember one of the episodes was on mechanics and the fact that people were complaining about mechanics and the breach of contract. Okay? And so we brought the head of mechanics in the region and he said what they were going to do with their. So with that, we had a following. People may not be able to understand the big English of law, but they know what their pain is and they're able to resonate with that. And that has really helped through time. So when we speak about media, media is indeed powerful and there is no way we can overemphasize it. Now, the final thing which I think I heard Professor Udombana speak about is the personal decision that has to be taken by everyone who is seated in here, sitting in this room. And that's to ask the question, why are you at the Law Reform Commission?